Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Pixelworks, PXLW, ticker symbol PXLW. And yeah, so I'm doing the live streams Sunday evenings, 9 p.m. Next week, I'm not going to be able to do the Thursday evening live stream because I won't be able to do evening streams other than that Sunday one, but I will be doing multiple weekly streams, weekday streams. And so I will be doing the next one after Sunday, Monday evening, because of President's Day. I don't have to be at work. But then the rest of the week, I'll try to do some streams during the daytime, might be during market hours. And yeah, happy to take ticker requests then. Also started doing rough cut requests. So if you do have requests for me and I'm not streaming, I can make a little video that's unedited going over your ticker. So you can always request in the comments, and happy to do that. But yeah, for this stream, I'm going to be going over a few tickers that were requested. PXLW was requested earlier, and then in the stream covering Coinbase's earnings call earlier today, Fisker and DraftKings were also requested. So I'm going to go over those. And I also got Coinbase up here and Bitcoin because, those weren't moving a lot. And so, yeah, I haven't looked at Pixelworks at all, so I'm just going to explore that a little bit. I will check out Fastly as well. I'm just going to first go over Pixelworks and then I'll go over Fastly. I always go to respond in the chat by typing in the ticker. I mean to do it over here. And how's it going, Nameless? You have a good day trading? Okay, so I got Fastly up there. And yeah, and so I'm just going to look at Pixelworks real quick. Haven't looked at it at all. It does seem like it's pretty overextended, though. There was this gap here. So let's see. Coming down to the high on that day was $1.51. So let's see if I can add that. Let's see. So there's that gap down there. And yeah, it's gone on kind of a rampage. Did have earnings on the 8th. And it looks like they've been doing pretty good. The person who requested this mentioned that they might have a deal in the works with Disney, potentially going to $10 a share. So I'll just, explore, that as a possibility. But yeah, I mean, right now with the RSI at like 75.94 and it having been that high for a while, now dipping down on this, red day. That is actually a bearish engulfing candle that was put in on the day. It is, I guess, encouraging that buyers were stepping in below the close price at 260. But, it was just at a high of 292. And from this run up, let's see, how much is it up? It's $1.50. Yeah, so it's up. It's gone up, basically 100%, 90%. But then up to here, I guess I could do the close to be fair. Over 70% over the course of like 2.5 weeks. So that's a pretty big run. And actually, oh yeah, I guess, yeah, that was the high, so I could have gone from the close. But yeah, I mean, it seems like at this point it's pretty risky. I would think that there could be a pullback and this might be settling out. And yeah, I mean, it did hit that low of 101, so maybe we could do a retracement from there. To the top. Ooh, I always accidentally do that frequently. Actually, when I'm recording videos, I'll grab that and then have to re-record it because I'm taking a measurement, not a retracement. So it's 92, so up there. And so, I mean, it did get a dip down to the 236, but I could see it, especially with this consolidation here. Put up a volume profile. Yeah, we got this little bit of a lip there, and so I could see price coming down to 219, and that's not to say that I don't think it's going to $10, but I just think that with this big move, I think it could be cooling off before going up there, and that maybe there'd be a better dip buying opportunity. Made money on a GDX today. A nice work, Nameless. Yeah, that bounced. I haven't looked at it. But I need to or were you making money on its way down? I'll pull that up in just a minute, just to look at it real quick before checking out Fastly. Um, but yeah, so from this, I could see this pulling back, and um, yeah, and remove that volume profile. This going up to 10. I mean, that's a pretty. I mean, has it ever been up to 10? Yeah, it has been. I think like there are these pivots here. What's the high on that? It's a weekly candle. The high of that week was 978. Yeah, this is pretty remarkable how much you have to go back to get that. Yeah, price at $10. I don't know. It seems kind of like a stretch. I mean, it is a pretty, small cap company, and it did just, it was less than 100 million market cap, just like a couple, a dollar per share. Yeah, that's yeah. So I mean, I guess I can think about where it might be bumping into resistance on its way up. Or let's see, I could do a retracement from, I'll put this on the weekly. I might, let's see, maybe from this high. Just approximate. One of the things that I think is really cool about these retracements is how some of the lines end up overlapping like perfectly. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'd say, and then, I was thinking something for, maybe here. What I'll do, I'm going to delete that one just because that's, just making an assumption it's going to go up so high. But maybe from like this draw, well, let's see. One that's around is about that level. So I'll do it from, let's see. I'll do it from this peak. See what we get. It'll have an extension. See where that might go to. It's like, yeah, I mean, and also, yeah, with this below $3, it did get rejected from $3. I think that'd be the next level. And so, I mean, yeah, if you wanted to long-term hold this, maybe this would be a really good price if you have conviction in it, you think it's going to 10. But if this is just like a short-term squeeze play, I'm not familiar with this stock at all. And yeah, I don't feel like there's much news. Let's see what people are saying about it. Anyone watching this invested already? Let's see. So apparently all those big buys were just to get the price up so the big boys could dump it. Nice. Buy the dip. I don't know if you can see that one. There you go. Wow. Has anyone looked into this Pixelworks deal? Curious to see opinions on it. Fellow Disney shareholder since low 90s. And so this person, you can see that one wall at 286. So I guess that was just the high, or right around the high. But yeah, I mean, I'd have to spend more time probably thinking about this, but I just say, for me, this just seems like I wait for a pullback. Like if this is something that you are wanting to get into, or if I was wanting to get into, if I had conviction in it getting up to 10 or even just 3, I'd want to see more of a pullback, especially, I mean, this is a bearish engulfing candle, so I think that this would probably be pulling back more. And so, and going back to the 382, I think that's pretty reasonable, especially with this consolidation here. It's like $2.19. So, yeah, I mean, that's all that I guess I can say on this for now. But, yeah, I mean, just with this big move up, the gap here, and, yeah, but maybe it's going to maybe this is a fake out and it's going to go up higher. I mean, it did drop below the 236, but then close above. So maybe that is a fake out. But yeah, I mean, I'd personally here, I mean, I'll set an alert, but I end up getting too many alerts. So I just, I kind of don't pay attention to them. Trying to delete them, not add them. But yeah, I'll put an alert at 219. See, maybe that hits, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't hit, and you're curious to see my follow-up, just comment it again, in a week or so, and I'll do a follow-up. But yeah, I'm just gonna look at GDX real quick, and then I'll check out FSLY. So that did bounce from that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was like a kind of almost a double bottom play, or with just that parallel. But yeah, I just did a covered, I forget the name of it, Pinross, something, gold, I forget, Finross, I don't know, but similar shape, and I'm just thinking that this is going to break down. See, I'm glad that you were able to swing this and make some money on it. Up 3% on the day, following, yesterday's close. I mean, really, like from the close of a couple of days ago up to today's close. Yeah, about 3%. So that's nice. Yeah, nice work. I've avoided, not necessarily intentionally, but I can only do so many things, and GDX gold miners are lower on my list. But yeah, cool. I'll switch over to FSLY. Wow, that's pretty big. Over 30%. Potentially coming into support here at 1579. What's that line based on? Doesn't look like it's based on anything. Maybe it was just volume profile. And this is daily, okay. Yeah, where's that? I'm curious, why do I have this line here? Maybe I just accidentally threw it up there. It got moved from somewhere else. Yeah, so I'm just going to delete that. I'll draw a different line. I guess there's this gap filled to the downside here. And yeah, I mean, remove that volume profile, kind of getting in the way. Yeah, I don't know how that's pretty cool that this almost touched that parallel channel. Yeah, I'm going to do it on the daily. But yeah, been a lot of price action in there. Maybe that could be moved up higher. Where do I have this pivot point over here? Just kind of out of curiosity. That looks pretty cool. That looks nice. And yeah, I mean, I could see it coming down to there. Let's see, from the low here to the high. Maybe, I mean, that's this 786. Like, pretty perfectly. I mean, what I guess I could see with this is, I just have my eyes on that gap thinking, oh, that's going to keep going down. It's not really down in the after hours. And yeah, I mean, that did, like, actually, I'm going to fine tune this just to make sure it's just right. 25, like, I'm going to zoom out so I can see both the numbers on it. 25, 87, and 1364. Yeah, that level's at 1626. And that was the low of today. So yeah, I mean, I wonder if this was just like a pretty nice retracement to that level. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. Let's see. And so yeah, I wonder if this would be bouncing from that level potentially. Maybe it'd be making an attempt at 618. So that's from the low here. That's a more than 10% swing. So I could see that maybe like a, starter position here, like a quarter of position here, so that if it does go down to fill the gap, or, possibly, I don't think it'd do a full retracement. I think that, yeah, I mean, especially with like the convergence of this gap and that trend line, I think that this would more likely bounce. And actually, why Fastly stock crashing today? I think this might pull up. Yeah, they're gonna put ads and crap on here. So worthless. Let's see. And so let's see. Down 30%. Fastly published its fourth quarter report, so earnings, after market close Wednesday, posting a beat on earnings, but sales that fell significantly short of the market's expectation. Making matters worse, the company's guidance raised red flags. And the chief architect sold shares, so insider selling. Yeah, and I guess though, I mean, with this big move, I mean, from here, it didn't really get too far into like oversold territory. But yeah, maybe this would, I guess I'd see what happens tomorrow. Like right now, this is potentially a falling knife still. But if it does seem like it's consolidating here, maybe it gets a bounce on Friday, but then maybe retraces to that line on Monday. And then maybe that would be a sign that, okay, it's not necessarily a falling knife and that it could be bouncing from there. But it could also just be continuing down. So I'd keep an eye on 1626, and if there's a close, like if tomorrow Friday, if it closes below that level, I think that's either a fake out or it's potentially going to continue lower. If it's a fake out, then Monday it'd be above that line. Monday closing below it would be confirmation, I'd guess. But yeah, that's a tough one. I'd want to see what this is doing. I mean, I'll just leave it in the request thing here, so I'll probably see it Sunday then. So then Sunday stream, we could look at this again and see where it's at. But yeah, I'd feel like maybe this could be coming up to the 50%. And that's at convergence with this trend line. So maybe there's something there. And so Big Bird's saying word on Reddit Insider is buying at BIOR. I'm just here to get my daily dose of confirmation bias. Yeah, I know. I feel like that's something that I definitely end up doing. I have such a hard time being bearish on things that I know people like. As always, appreciate the coverage. Yeah, you're welcome. I appreciate the views and the suggestions. I'll go over BIOR. Nameless. Hopefully you think that my thoughts on this are all right. But yeah, definitely happy to go over it again on Sunday. So I'll just leave it in the request tab here. And BIOR. Oh yeah, and one thing, I pointed this out on a stream. I don't know if you were watching during it. But I had drawn this, downtrending channel that prices have been in for a while. And then I noticed that there were a couple pierces of it. And so I was just thinking, not only to like the upside here, but then also to the downside. I was thinking, oh, maybe I could just kind of extend that channel. And because I was wondering, why does it always look like, we're trading on the outside of the channel, but then like breaking back in. And, yeah, so I've just been like, it's just been very puzzling. Like why, okay, clearly we're outside of that channel here. I'm going to remove this retracement, outside of that parallel channel, just coming down. And it's like, well, why haven't we like made moves up? It's like we're still trading it because the channel is actually a little bit bigger. But you're saying that insiders buying. So yeah, and somebody actually, I don't know that I responded. Yeah, I get a bunch of comments. Some of them are really easy to respond to, and some of them I need to I want to sit down in front of the computer to respond. And so I end up not responding for a few days. But somebody was asking if they thought BIOR would have a reverse split. And so the last time, are they're NASDAQ, yeah. The last time they were above, when they closed above $1, let's see, I believe it's one of these days. What was this close? 97. Yeah, so this was the last close above $1 here. And so I think it's by the end of the month. Let's see. From there, 30, I think it's, trading days. So 30 bars. This is going to include President's Day, which probably won't show up here. So I'm going to do 31. and that's the last day of the month. So basically, we have the last day of the month and to get a close above $1 before there's concern that we'd have to be doing a reverse split. And so then that'd give us 180 days, calendar days, before there'd have to be a reverse split, or before price would have to close above $1. And so I don't really think that there's too much risk, at least not at this point, of there needing to be a reverse split because price is pretty close to $1. And, on the last time there was, some good news, went up to over $2 a share. And I think that, basically 180 days from now, I don't know where that put us, like in June sometime, we'll be getting results from the clinical trial that they're currently in. And I imagine those will be good. I imagine that'll be leading to like full FDA approval. So I think that this is a good buy below $1. I don't think that there will have to be a reverse split. Potentially there will be, but I just think that it's, this company seems like they're doing pretty remarkable stuff with the, I think NaviCap is what it's called. And yeah, ulcerative colitis. I think that's, I think there's a lot of potential for them. So I feel like this is a good dip buying opportunity. To be honest, I've been averaging in with my Fisker position. I've been buying dips, but I haven't been with BIOR. But I think I'm just waiting for 75.60, and if not, I have a lot of shares of BIOR, so I'm fine to just chill. And so Nameless is asking, what do I think about Twilio? I will add that here, but I'm gonna go to Fisker after this, and then somebody is also asking about DraftKings, so I have to do that at some point. Twilio. So I'll do that. But yeah, I'll go over Fisker real quick. I am going to do a Fisker video on Saturday. I think that's not necessarily my most popular video, but it's like consistently pretty popular. And yeah, I got so many retracements here. I'm just going to delete them to clean stuff up. And I can add them back in if I want. Yeah, so I think it's been pretty crazy. I mean, it hasn't broken down below, like this hit a low of 73.5 cents. And so, following that, so I think on this day, I was like, I think during a stream, like, it's probably going to set like right around 75 cents again. And so I placed an order for 75 cents. And it's like, dang it, man, I could have had that filled at 74 cents. And then it's like, okay, a week goes by and I have a little bit of extra, money on the side. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I'll just place an order for 74 cents. And with this, because it's less than $1, I have to buy at least 100 shares. So I just placed an order for 100 shares at 74 cents. And so that was filled, I guess, more recently. I don't think it was filled here, the low. I think it was probably on the 13th, on Tuesday, that it was filled. Maybe it could have been yesterday. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just think it's pretty crazy that it's just been like respecting this level. This could be bearish though, that it's like a bear flag or bearish consolidation that is just like keeps pounding at this level. Eventually it's going to break. So, I mean, there's some concern there, but they do have like earnings coming up, don't they? Yeah, I think this is an earnings call I'd really like to do, but I might not be able to because of my work. Be nice if it say when the earnings are. Or facing multiple complaints about the Ocean SUV. They're getting complaints, I guess. Factbox. More automakers pull into Tesla's EV charging network. And one thing that I found really interesting, the game plan from Gareth Soloway's channel, Verified Investing, I posted that one from today, and he was just talking about, bubbles when they burst, and he was talking about Tesla, and then he was listing other EV companies, and he, listed, I don't know if he said Rivian, but he said Lucid, and he also just like right before continuing on said Fisker. And, not saying anything bearish or bullish about them, but just, considering like market caps and stuff, Tesla, Lucid, and then Fisker. So I thought it was really nice to just hear that, him talking about them because he doesn't usually go for, such small cap or, such cheap shares. So I just thought it was interesting to hear, oh, wow, talking about Fisker. But yeah, I mean, let's see. Still in this channel. I mean, for me, I'm just waiting for a retest. I mean, do I have an alert? I guess I have an alert at 75, which I'm going to adjust this because this probably just goes off every day. And it's like, well, yeah, I know it's below 75. So I'm actually going to do this below 73 because that's been a level that hasn't really, like on these days, 73.20, 73.20. Wow, that's crazy. Both 73.20 lows. This day, 73.50. So yeah, like 72.55. That was like the only opportunity to buy at 73 cents. And so, yeah, I'm just going to put an alert there. If it does dip to that level, then it's like, well, I mean, is it falling off a cliff? And maybe wait for it to settle. Yeah, but I started getting into Fisker kind of late. So my average is pretty low. It's below $1. And so, yeah, I mean, I have a good amount of shares now because I have to buy in increments of 100. So I sell covered calls every week. Some of them at $1. If it closes on a Friday at $1, I have to get rid of some shares, but that's in profit, and then I still have extra shares to hold. So yeah, I mean, but I think that this will get really interesting towards the end of the month because I think that there's going to be more news and stuff coming out on the company. So yeah, I mean, I just think that while it's hugging this, it's like I'm just chilling out, and if it breaks below, if it breaks below 73, I'll get alerted, and then it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll buy the dip, and then maybe it would be like, okay, well, maybe I'll place an order at 72.55, and then it's like, well, maybe it goes lower than that, but then it's like, oh, well, at least I bought this all-time low, kind of like retroactively, and then if it does go lower, then add more, that's at least how I'm approaching it. But my averages, I know people have averages that are pretty high, but with mine being below $1, this is all. I'm not too concerned about it. I think it'll be rallying soon at some point. But right now, this could be like a falling triangle, and that it hasn't broken to the downside. But you could adjust this line, and it just keeps testing this level that it's probably going to break to the downside. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it surprises us. But yeah, I'll definitely do an update on Saturday. I'll give more complete thoughts on it. Hey, more money. I did not. I was thinking about participating in. So more money is ready. Hope you made money on the Children's Place, which is ticker symbol PLCE. I'll pull that up in a second. It was $10 when I told you about it on your last stream. Yeah, so I'll surprise you guys with what price it is at right now. No, I went with the Vizio play, and so that hasn't really done too much. So I guess it's just like waiting for news. But yeah, I would have made like $10 or something. So I'm not actually, I'll pull it up right now to make myself feel bad. But yeah, you were saying this is the one I should go with, but I had spent some time chatting about Vizio during the stream. And so I just went with that, and yeah, where's right here? Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, so he was talking about it after this red day, so I could have got it like at $11. I, to be honest, probably would have sold here, so I would have made like $6 or something, $5-6. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, the one that I got into, which is just one share. I don't like the positions that I'm big in. I don't really have too much fun with, but the ones that are new to me or that I talk about on the channel, it's like, oh, I'll just buy one share and see what happens. Yeah, so this, my average is 975, and so I'm pretty curious. I got a measurement up there. I'm curious. This, while there was this pretty big pullback, this to me looks like it could be forming a bull flag. Although this is a bearish engulfing candle, so maybe that's not a good sign. But yeah, I guess with this, it's like I don't have I think my limit sell is at 1128. Although, I was thinking, I think I had put it at yeah, I think I put it I think probably around this peak here, around 1380, something like that. Um, but yeah, if I lose money on this, it's 975. But I think it's pretty, you know, I can't FOMO into too many of these, and so this is my play for the week, and I'll see if I make or lose money with it. Um, but yeah, I feel like this low, just 928. Maybe I'll just put an alert there. So if it goes lower than that, oh no, hey, maybe this is gonna go down. Maybe it's a bad decision, or maybe it's a fake out. But yeah, I hope that you've made a lot of money with this. I hope you've taken some profit because this is pretty crazy. I I do regret a little bit not going in on both, but um, yeah, I don't want to risk losing $20. uh, and so Burak asked, why is Bitcoin pumping? Do you mean like, oops, I always end up hitting the news when I go to Bitcoin. Do you mean like right now, like this minute, or do you mean like the past couple days? I think it's just like, let's see, because it had hit this, this didn't look too strong. Got all these wicks up here just consolidating. And I think it couldn't get any closes above this high. And so it's like, okay, that's not putting in more topping signal than bull flag. And so then it broke down. And so then breaking above that level, let's see this high here. We've put in closes above that. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to keep grinding up. You see I have this alert here at 52,000. I think this is probably going to go up to 55. Um, and yeah, actually, I have I stack like $10 Bitcoin every week, so pretty boring. But I had just gotten some Bitcoin and Ethereum back from, I don't know if you guys know Celsius, but I had some coins in that when it like collapsed and locked everything up, and so I just got some money back from them, and so I have some Bitcoin and Ethereum in my PayPal account, and so this has like gotten more interesting for me, and like when it pumped up to here it pumped up to a high of 50. This is the daily, yeah, a high of 50.4K, and then the next day it's like pulling back, and I'm just thinking like, oh crap, man, I should take it, take the money while it's above 48K or, whatever. And I'm just thinking, nah, that's just them playing with my emotions. It's going to continue higher. And then sure enough, yeah, at 42K. And so maybe this is the same thing that's happening. I mean, but yeah, I mean, as far as that stuff goes, it's like money that I had thought I lost. So I don't really care too much about it. But I do plan on, exiting at some point, but I'm really just going to wait for, like we don't have any big wicks going up. I mean, maybe this is one, but this day, did this just start, or this is still the 15th? See, I mean, maybe it's starting to flatten out, but you want to see two candles that would suggest a reversal or a top. And so with this, pretty clear that it's not showing too much strength. But here, I mean, this could continue higher. So I just think that, yeah, it's going to keep going. And why? I'm not sure. I think but looking at it, though, I think that, this is on the daily here. So, I mean, looking on the daily, we're putting in a higher high with the RSI. So there's no, like, bearish divergence with that. And so, but I think if we look at this on the weekly, let's see. Yeah, I mean, from, any of these, this is on the weekly time frame. So it just means like it'd probably take longer for it to play out than if it was on the daily. But I'm going to delete this thing. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, from here, higher highs, there, higher highs. But from here, this like relative to that, I mean, this could just keep going up the RSI. So yeah, I don't know. Halving year and stuff, I think it's gonna keep going up until like 55K, and then it's just like a reassess type of thing, like every level reassess. So For me, it was like 48K, then 50K, then 52K. Now it's like 55, 57. And those numbers are really somewhat arbitrary. Some are, based on, lines that I've drawn here that I picked up from other people talking about them. And I think, over here, you got these two peaks. That's around, what the hell? Yes, that's around where we're at now. But then, I guess there's some resistance here with these candles coming down. This is on the weekly. So, around 55, basically you've got the lows from this peak coming down to like 55 or so. And then the lows up here, that's like 60. So I guess what's this? 57. Yeah, so like in this, let's see, what's the tool that I can, rectangle. So like kind of from, I guess from here, what's that? I think this is just kind of like, something around there. Yeah, I think it's going to keep going up for a little bit, but I don't think it's going to hit new all-time highs. I think there's going to be a pullback. That's why I have this box here, but I could be wrong. And then more money is asking about Vizio. So what's up with Vizio? I don't know. I assume it's just like there's rumor that Walmart's going to buy them. Roku up despite concerns over Walmart deal. I don't know if this is going to be one of the biggest names around when it comes to streaming infrastructure. It has to be Roku. Those little boxes definitely punch above their weight in providing streaming value. However, a new report that revealed giant Walmart may be poised to shake up the field by buying smart TV maker Vizio is leaving some very concerned, with the market about to close for the day. Roku itself up a little over 1.5%. And so the deal, you can read a little bit of this, in question suggests that Walmart might end up buying Vizio. That's a move that could have serious implications for Roku. And I guess I probably can't read anymore because I don't pay for that. But my thoughts on it are that this is just potentially a bull flag. And so I have my one share at 975. If it pulled back to here, I don't know. I'd probably, it doesn't typically have big moves like this. So I'd probably cut my loss or something, but I'll give it a couple weeks. I have a limit sell at 1128, just being the high there, not really knowing where it could go. I imagine it would go much higher than that if this deal did go through. But I just don't want to be, I don't want to be like getting the adrenaline and stuff from this. So if it goes up there, great. If not, that's $10. It's not a big deal. And so for me, that's just like, it's not a large gain, like dollar wise, but that'd be a nice percentage gain. And so I'm just trying to get better at doing stuff like that without being emotional about it, not having any, adrenaline or, getting upset, glued to, the charts and stuff. Just letting it go, place the limit order and forget about it. So that worked well with the last one that I did, but I only made like less than $1 on it, but it was a nice percentage gain. So I typically don't really pay attention to, I'll just pull it up here. Topping tail on semiconductors. Is that the SMH? And then I'll also look up SOXS. No, am I going to increase my short position? So I get paid tomorrow. I get paid like, by the time I wake up, I get paid. And I have to move it to a couple accounts. So maybe next week I might be adding to my positions. And also thinking about trying to get my natural gas position lower, UNG. So let's look at, I usually just look at this over the weekend, like I do like a weekly edition. And so I really, like I because yeah, I mean, I have too many things to be looking at, and so it's just like, oh, well, this is, I'll put a little bit in there each week. This, yeah, it doesn't look so great. That definitely like topping signal, um, and any attempts to get above it failing. I think that Nvidia's earnings are coming up next week. Wait, and oops, wrong. There we go. And so I think that's going to be have a huge impact, not just on semiconductors, but on the market. Yeah, topping tail there. Yeah, and I think this is like a really interesting thing because I didn't really know too much about this until like Gareth Soloway's talking about this being a topping tail, and the only way to invalidate that being a topping signal is to get a close above that, and really you need to have two closes to get confirmation of the invalidation of that topping signal. And so with this, this to me just looks like, it pumps up here, gets people really excited, and then it pulls back even though it's going up on the day, and that just gets people like it's like this drug, this up and down, and then it's pumping here, and people are like, oh, this is the highest close that we've seen ever. And then the next day it just pulls the price down. Not a bearish engulfing candle, but pretty close. I mean, that's the close here, 739. The open here, 738.69. So almost bearish engulfing. But yeah, this definitely looks like a topping signal, and yeah, I might be adding more to SOXS. I might not though. I don't know. It just depends. Like on how much. But yeah, I mean now seems like a good time to add some more. So yeah. That's the thing I'm most excited about as far as the shorts. And I actually, if I were to break even with SH, I'd probably sell just to like add more to like SOXS, just because I'm like I have more conviction in it, or not more conviction in it, but I'm just like I have conviction in the shorting and the play on semiconductors. I just feel like it's really, really compelling. And yeah, I mean, looking at this chart, let's see. I don't know why I had that box there. Looking at this on the, damn man, this is crazy. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I mean, even just coming down to like 500, that seems pretty reasonable. But yeah, looking at this, the weekly, I think maybe on the monthly is better. God. Yeah, so here, RSI of 87.85 on the monthly time frame. And then here we have like ridiculous, what's the market cap? What I could see happening, which this is crazy because it's like so much money, but I could see this going up to 2 trillion. And then, yeah, because I think there's like a comparison. Hey, Ricardo, I see your comment on SOXS. Nice to see you here. I feel like it's been a while. And so I'll get to your comment. I'm just going to keep going with this thought process. Yeah, just like I think Gareth Soloway was referring to like Nvidia as like, whatever happens to them, it's reflected in the market. Like they're the leader in the same way that like Apple used to be, but not as much anymore. And so like pretty much if, Nvidia keeps going higher, the market's going to keep going higher, and vice versa. If it starts going lower, the market's going to turn around. And so like I could see this going up to, yeah, let's see if there's any like what would price need to be for market cap to be 2 trillion. I'd have to take some time to think about that. But if I just do like a retracement from here, and then, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't expect, I was actually looking for this up here. And yeah, but it's at that. That's pretty crazy. This is on the monthly time frame, so we'll have to see how the month goes. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like, you're always early for everything. You're either early or late. You're never right on time. And just with this like shorting, I've been early, but I've also recognized that and just been like really slow with it. And so I feel like it's still going to be pumping. So like, let's see if I look up the SPX. Sorry if I hear it in my ears. Sorry if sometimes I lisp and it sounds bad. I don't mean to do that. I don't actually know why I do that. But yeah, this is still, I mean, this is the highest close that we've seen for the S&P, but still there's that topping signal, just like with semiconductors. So it's like so interesting how this and, the similarity is there with this topping signal. And so, yeah, when is Nvidia's earnings? That's on the 21st. So is that Wednesday of next week? That would have to be Wednesday. And so, yeah, so nameless, to answer your question, I'll probably be adding, probably not like super heavy, but maybe I'll be doubling my position. That's a good idea. Because it's like, I never really have, and pretty much any of the stuff that I've like talked about more recently on the channel, if I have any sort of position, it's usually pretty small. I think I have, like, and this is like pathetic, I'm always embarrassed to share how much I have. I think I have 15 shares of SOXS, so I might double that, which is, easy. And then it's like, well, I mean, if it keeps going lower, then I can continue to buy more. But if I were to like go super heavy, I'd be caught up in the emotions of it and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm going to continue on. And yeah, more money. Congrats. $400 on Children's Place. This is, yeah. Yeah, you know how to play the game. I feel like I started in the market doing stuff like this, but then I got burned a couple times and have tried to be more, I don't know, like taking my time with things, I guess. 2 options contracts, made $400. Wow, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, and I feel like I always end up getting burnt on options. Like, it's pretty much like I always get burnt on options, so I'm never going to do them again. And then like a month later, I make some money on a call or a put. And it's like, oh, wow, I know how to do this. I should have more confidence. And then I go on like a losing streak for, a month. And then it's just like, okay, maybe I should take a break from options. I think I have an option. I think it was a call on Neo that expires tomorrow. And so that, I think, is my last out of the money loss, in options. But I sell them all the time. I love selling covered calls. Such an easy way to make money. Even though it's like not a ton of money, but it adds up. It's like at least $20 a week. I've had I think in December, like GameStop was being pretty volatile. I made like $200 in a week. It's pretty nice. So Ricardo, you're asking SOXS, is it time to buy? And so, I mean, I feel like for me, like if we look at the chart over here, and actually I'm gotta clean this up a little bit. I got too many tickers on it. Let's see. What do I want to remove? I think I'll leave Bitcoin up, but I might, since I spent so much time on Coinbase, I might delete that one. And so I'm going to add a SPY. And so for me, like, I guess like kind of my thought process with shorting the market was, basically a misunderstanding that I had about the all-time high. So I thought that we had broken the all-time high over here in the S&P 500 because we were with a SPY. But this, I think there's there's after hours trading with this whereas there's not with the SPX. And so they're a little bit different. And so I was under the impression that we were hitting all-time highs. I think the first video I put out on shorting the market was, okay, we're hitting all-time highs. Maybe it's time to short the market. But we weren't actually hitting all-time highs because this is not as good of a representation of the S&P 500 as the SPX. And so with this, we broke all-time highs. So I thought that we were breaking all-time highs around here, which was, I think, in December. Yeah, beginning of December. And so that's when I started to short with SH. So no leverage and, not really that exciting. It was just like, well, I'll buy one share every week. And then, prices going up. I'm not terribly down in that position or anything. Dollar cost averaging is nice. And I don't like, it's going down in price. I'm going to add a lot more. It's just like, once a week. But so I've started adding then, but then really, that was like over here. And so with SOXS, that was like beginning of December. That would have to be probably around, over here. So I started to add here. So my average is up here somewhere, maybe around this bump. And I'm not adding tons. So it's just like, and it's $4 a share. Then $6, I guess. But I'm slowly dollar cost averaging a little bit every week. And I feel like, if, let's say, if I wanted to have 100 shares of this, I feel like, and I did it, and I wanted to buy it 4 times at most. I feel like this would be a good time. I felt like this was a good time to start buying. And so, like, if I were to divide it up into 25 shares, I feel like this could be a good time to get 25 shares, knowing that it's quite possible it could be dipping lower. And I guess a way that we could get an assessment of that is just by, I feel like I do these too much. I don't know if they're like annoying or anything. But yeah, like an extension from this little run up is like going down to like 370. And so, maybe like now is a good time to establish a quarter of a position that you'd want, and then wait for, if it goes down to 370 or maybe $4 just being a psychological level. That did seem like it, bounced when it hit, or didn't get to $4 here. But yeah, I think that there's just a lot of, I feel like I'm exhausting with this measurement, over 200% there. So, and yeah, and that's also too, like, if you wanted to hold that whole time, that might take maybe a year to go back up there. But, I think since this is, the S&P, like other things would be collapsing. And so that would be pretty violent down. And so I think that would be pretty violent moves up with this. So I don't think it necessarily take that long. And this is also, you could be a lot greedier, going back in time. This is probably like, this is October 2022. This could just go a lot higher. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a good time to start averaging in, but I don't think it's a good time to like buy a ton. And so Nameless is saying last Nvidia earnings was good, but the stock price was flat on that day. Okay, that's a good idea to look over at their last one. Yeah, and like, let's see. In their RSI he was getting into overbought, but not crazy. But what was that level? That's weird. Why do I didn't just draw this, did I? I think I did. I think it got moved. Yeah, I didn't lock it. Yeah, so I was just doing it. Yeah, okay, to get this. Yeah, I did just do that. Yeah, so like how have they been on earnings? It's like right now they've got earnings and look at their RSI. That's insane. Here earnings, RSI cool. What happened then? It did go up after it, but then it pulled back. Now it's like near a top. This earnings looks like it gapped up. What was their RSI before that? It was below 70, then it gapped up. So really, like, you look at this. Yeah, so RSI currently 77, but it's been up to like 85. And then so like over here, this is super high RSI, 87, 89, almost 90. That's insane. And so they've got that. And then earnings. Looks like they gap up on earnings there. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it could. I mean, I feel like it's just like how insane the market is. I feel like everybody would look at this and be like, oh, it's way overextended. It's got to pull back. Look at the RSI. It's definitely going higher. But then, yeah, like this example, this gapped up when their RSI was 87, 89. I guess it did pull back a little bit. Yeah, it did cool off a little bit before earnings. And so, yeah, maybe that's an indicator if RSI is cooling off, like if this continues to pull back a little bit, maybe that's a sign that it's going to gap up or something and go to a crazy price. Like, can't see it, 963. That'd be insane. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like this could go either way. I'm not touching it other than probably adding to SOXS next week. And, you know, if I can make some money on that, great. If I can't, my position's really not that small. I could definitely add to it. So I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, but I think this is getting near a top. But yeah, I should, getting near the hour mark. So I should probably close this down soon. But somebody was asking about DraftKings. I said I'd go over it in the stream, so I should do that. So yeah, I'll go over DraftKings, and then if there are any last minute requests, I can do those too. But I might just go over this. I just think that, I mean, my stance really hasn't changed since I did the rough cut request last night. I mean, today up 1%, but then down 3% in the after hours. I don't think the after hours is too much to pay attention to, especially they're reporting earnings tomorrow, or do they just have the call? DraftKings reports results for quarter ended in December, earnings summary. So I'll pull this up. It should just be a pop-up here. And so DraftKings reported a quarterly adjusted loss of 10 cents per share for the quarter ended in December, higher than the same quarter last year. When the company reported an EPS of negative 53 cents, the mean expectation of 25 analysts for the quarter was for earnings of 8 cents per share. Wall Street expected results to range from negative 8 cents to 21 cents. So revenue rose by about 44 44% to 1.23 billion from a year ago. Analysts expected 1.24. DraftKings reported EPS for the quarter was a loss of 10 cents. The company reported quarterly loss of almost 45 million. DraftKings shares had risen by 24.5% this quarter. The mean earnings estimate had fallen about 44%. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of bets. The current average analyst rating on the shares is buy, and breakdown of recommendation is 27. Strong buy or buy, 6 hold, 1 sell. Yeah, I mean, I feel like somebody wants to offload shares, and they're yeah, I mean, and I think like analysts are also oftentimes like late to it. Like, it's up so much, so how could you not be long on it, because it's up so much. It's gone up, let's see, from here 350% in the past like 2 years. I mean, I guess you could move that to over here, and maybe that's like more the bottom there. But yeah, I mean, this to me just looks like it's bumped. This is on the daily. It's testing this level 44.79, which I view, looking at the weekly, as a significant level. I mean, but that's give or take. That's just based on the high here for this week, first week closing in June 2020. And, it served as support here with a wick down, a little bit of resistance here, support here, as well as here, like a little bit of fake out. And then since then, it hasn't been tested. And so if we look at this with the volume profile, and we're just starting to get into volume, so maybe it could go up to here, $49 a share around there. But I think like getting into earnings, this doesn't seem to be so great. And like maybe, yeah, I mean, I just like, if I had a position in this, I'd at least want to like trim half of it, because then it's like, oh, then I could buy back. But I mean, maybe you get something where it comes down to 33 over the course of, this is on the weekly time frame, so over the course of the next month, and then maybe it bounces up to 39 and then comes back down. Then you have a head and shoulders pattern, and then so from here to here, you don't just get a $12 loss, you get a $24 loss, and that maybe comes down to maybe test the 618, which, you know, or maybe, I mean, maybe it comes down to there. We do see this high here. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a fortune teller or anything, but yeah, I mean, this could be the beginning of a head and shoulders and a retrace down to, what is that? $21. Yeah, so that's a loss of over 50%. It just seems too risky to me at this point. I don't, it's like, yeah, so I don't know. I hope that I'm wrong. I don't like sharing bad news or having a negative perspective. And you know, I don't have anything invested in this, so it doesn't really affect me too much. But yeah, I mean, just as far as like managing risk, going into earnings, if you bought at any time over the past like 2 years, here, let's see. If you bought any time in the past, let's see, it's 100, oh wait, no. This is, okay, so this is weeks. So what's 100? Damn it. So this is weeks. So yeah, I mean, if it's 52 days, this is the past 2 years. You know, if you bought, yeah, if I did a measurement before and was referring to it as days, then I was wrong. But yeah, over the past 2 years, oh, okay, so that says, damn it, it says days on it as well. I didn't, so let's see, just from here, yeah, 800, that's, you know, almost 3 years. If you bought, you know, the past 3 years almost, let's see, I could just also look on the calendar. So November 2021, so that's more than, so 23, 22, yeah, so that's two plus years. Anytime you're up. And yeah, I mean, I think that it's a good time to trim, at least to lower that risk. But yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, the video that I put out yesterday on it, I don't know that there's anything more I can add other, you know, I did mention that I put this alert here, remove that volume profile. Got this alert here at 355.53 based on, you know, this gap right here. And so I could view that as, I feel like a longer term target, but really I would think that, yeah, I mean, maybe you're asking about DraftKings because you want to short it or something. But I could see like $40 as being a target based on like the highs over here. Maybe you'd find support there. Yeah, I mean, if I throw up the volume profile, there's a shelf right there, and then there's another one down here. So I think if it does turn around, I think it's coming to right around 40. Maybe it consolidates there a little bit, but then I think it's going to come down to 36. And then maybe it comes down even further to this shelf, like right around this 382 at $31. There's also this gap here. Yeah, I mean, it's like there's so many reasons for this to go down. And it's not like I'm being super critical because it's gone up so much. So, yeah, this just seems like too risky to me. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I've been streaming for an hour and 4 minutes. So if there are any last minute requests or if you want me to go over any of these again, I'm happy to. Um, but yeah, tomorrow's my last day starting in the morning, and next week I've got Monday off. So yeah, the next streams that I'll do, and pull up the calendar. The next streams that I'll do, I'm going to, let's see, stream on Sunday, the normal Sunday live stream, and then I'll stream Monday evening as well in case some people can't do the Sunday one, and then those will be like my only 2 evening streams until the next Sunday, and I'm gonna have to change this banner to say Sunday at 9 p.m. and weekdays, and then so I'll probably just, and that might actually be nice to try and get crowds that are busy in the evening and can't participate in a live stream during market hours, so I could, do the stream here and then do a market hour stream or something on Wednesday or maybe Thursday. Maybe I do that Thursday so I keep that day covered at least. And then on, I think the 28th, AMC has earnings after hours, so I'm taking the day off work to probably do some streaming during the day and then cover their earnings call. So I think that should be really cool. And yeah, I mean, I'm stoked about that stock. I was early at calling the bottom, but once the bull signs started to come in, I feel like it's going to have a lot of momentum moving into the end of the month, and maybe that will continue after earnings. So we'll have to see. But yeah, and I do want to note, I haven't been reading much just because I've been like so focused on making videos. But I'm going to try to read a lot on Monday on President's Day because I'll have a good amount of time. But I need to finish that book to try and do a book club on the 25th. If I don't get to it then I have until the 29th. So I want to do it every month. But yeah, I'm just going to bring Ed back there. It looks like people are leaving. So I'm going to close this down, and I'll do that with this thing. Thank you so much for joining. It's always so fun. Always make sure to like the videos, like the streams, comment in the chat, comment in the live chat. It's so great to interact with you guys, get feedback, ideas from you, and it's nice to hear that some of you are making some money. Hopefully, the videos that I make help you to, navigate the markets. But, I'm really just doing this. I started the channel as just like a trading journal. So it's just been such a nice way for me to be, learning and improving. And I really do enjoy this charting and stuff, as my understanding, it comes across that I do. So, but yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I will stream again Sunday evening as well as Monday evening and likely during the week sometime. And so, yeah, thank you so much for joining. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening, a great close to your week on Friday before the long weekend with the market closed Monday. And yeah, so have a nice night, guys. Take care.